Syrian opposition rejects calls by UN envoy for dialogue and an effort to curb doping in cycling. With the news at 10 o'clock, good morning, I'm Karabo Maladzi. A high-profile international mission to end the Syrian crisis is in trouble before it begins, as the Syrian opposition rejects calls by UN envoy Kofi Annan for dialogue with President Bashar al-Assad as pointless. Opposition leaders and activists have rejected Annan's plans, saying they ignore the nature of Assad's authoritarian regime as well as the thousands killed by his security forces. Annan, who's representing both the United Nations and the Arab League, is expected to meet Assad this morning in Damascus. The BBC's John Lyne has more.
The former UN Secretary-General comes to Damascus with a detailed plan, which would include a ceasefire, opening humanitarian corridors for aid, Syrian troops withdrawing to barracks, then a political dialogue leading to democracy. His proposals have already been criticised by members of the Syrian opposition, who've said it's too late to talk with President Assad. The opposition fear this mission may be used by the Syrian government as a distraction, while a new assault on the northern region around Idlib begins.
The Government Communications and Information System says it has set up a media monitoring system to specifically look at how the media reports on government's work. The system says its rapid response system responds to what it terms all the inaccurate news reporting by the media on issues related to government. Government spokesperson Jimmy Manyi says the objectives of the system are already being achieved.
Yeah, at GCIS we have this rapid response system, which means that every 8 o'clock in the morning we have meetings. We should be informed by our monitoring service, which is 24/7. In that unit we sit and we check who's saying what about government, and then we take a view how to respond to that. Some of the responses could mean people must apologize to GCIS or to government. Some of the responses could mean that we have to educate media about issues and facts that they've got wrong and all of that. So it just ensures that there's a dynamic communication, and that helps in terms of protecting the image of government.
Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga says her department has noted the excessive use of temporary appointments. She's revealed this in a written reply to a parliamentary question. Motshekga says the department is determined to ensure that no class is without a teacher. The SABC's parliamentary editor Vuyani Green reports.
Motshekga has considered that there will always be temporal educators in the education system due to the principle that no class should be without a teacher. She says these appointments are made to ensure that there is a teacher in front of every class while the formal processes of recruitment and selection are underway. However, she says the excessive use of temporal educators impacts on the provision of quality education. The minister says provincial education departments are in some cases left with no choice but to employ unqualified and underqualified educators in a temporary capacity due to the shortage of qualified educators. She says on average, a third of all temporal educators are unqualified. Vuyani Green, SABC News, Parliament.
In other news, a workshop to turn around schools with poor grade 12 results will soon be held at Randfontein in Gauteng. The Training, Research and Development Centre is planning to get educators, government representatives and experts together on the 24th and 25th of next month to share challenges, experiences and possible solutions in an effort to improve individual school pass rates. The Centre's Chief Operation Officer, Ina LaRue, elaborates.
And that is what this day will be, and this National Strategic Workshop will be about, is to have a group of people together that can really make a difference with their input, bringing it to the table so that we can plan, so that we can strategize and put together a new plan and put evaluation plans on the table, monitoring plans together. I think then we really can make a difference in the problematic situation.
Those interested in attending have been urged to register on www.trdc.co.za. And finally, on the sports front, Sports Minister Fikile Mbalula is expected to address the issue of doping in cycling at an I Play Fair breakfast seminar in Cape Town this morning. The campaign is aimed at discouraging cyclists from using banned substances, a problem which is plaguing the sport internationally. The initiative is supported by the Department of Sport and Recreation and the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport. It comes ahead of tomorrow's Pick and Pay Argus cycle tour, which has attracted thousands of cyclists to the mother city.